If you won the lottery, maybe you would employ yourself a butler. There are now players in the Premiership that are trying to put that in their contracts. So I would just like to introduce Ivor Spencer,
Vinnie,
who is the top man in butlering. I might be the top man at Wimbledon. You're the top man in
you're
butlering.
definitely the top man in Wimbledon. I run a school for butlers.
Schools. But you have been a butler?
No, I haven't. I'm a professional Toastmaster. I've covered over 1,000 royal events, party planner, and many of the events for royalty I've actually organised. But I employ a butler. I run a school for butlers, and it's a very successful school.
And you're training them now. And do you say I said I want a butler?
I would send you some resumes,
Yes.
so you'd have a look at, and then you'd interview the people, and then they'd start working for you, and you'd be very, very delighted with them.
Would you say it's essential? Because Lombardo came over from Italy.
Right.
In his contract,
Yes.
apparently he wanted a butler.
Good idea.
See, everybody laughed at it.
No,
Why is it a good idea?
It's a good idea because if you're a busy man like you are, he can concentrate on his business, on his family, and on his leisure time, and the butler will do everything else for him. Get his clothes ready, take messages, answer the door, go shopping, take him to the football ground, take him to meetings, bring him back. He could do a variety of things for him, which would leave Lombardo more time to what he does well, to play football.
So you're saying footballers should have...
If they can afford it, or if the club can afford it, I think it's a very good idea.
What sort of price range would you?
Well, the butler
because they'd have to live in, or
normally live in. The butler would get £25,000 a year, plus he would expect food and accommodation, but very good food and accommodation. Not that he's greedy, he's not, and a car for shopping, and a day and a half off a week, 2 weeks holiday a year. But the hours could be flexible. So if he had a day and a half off coming this week, but you wanted him to work, or Lombardo wanted him to work, he would say, certainly, Mr. Lombardo, I'll work.
And does he work from, I suppose, the start of the boss's day, I suppose?
Absolutely. He gets
until he finishes? Or?
Of course, absolutely. Some days are very long, and other days it could be very short. Whatever Mr. Lombardo wants, or what you want, he would do.
So what do people do? Just wake up one day and say, "Oh, I want to be a butler."
Yes,
that's for 25 grand a year. That don't sound a bad job.
Yes, but not everybody can do it. And in fact, Vinnie, after 2 days, we often ask people to leave the course and give them their feedback because they're not suitable. We want a person that's not pompous, not snobbish, anticipates everything, and puts the employers first before their own family.
And do they have to speak the Queen's English?
Yes, but we don't take accents away. If they've got an accent, providing you can understand it, we ask them to keep their accent. But you've naturally got to speak clearly. Otherwise, you'd say to people, this is on the menu today, so they wouldn't understand you.
Well, I know that you are from the East End.
That's right.
But you don't sound like you're from the East End.
Well, that's right. My brother's a Cockney, and he sounds like it. But I think over the years, as a professional Toastmaster and listening to all the top people, it's rubbed off on me. And now I'm speaking, but still with a London accent.
So who have you waited on? Who have you?
Well,
I know you did Lady Diana, haven't you?
Well,
You spent a lot of time with her.
Yes, in fact, I was very pleased when the Princess asked me to officiate at her brother's wedding, Earl Spencer's at Althorpe. I'd met her many times on functions. She often stopped a car for me in London, and she was a lovely person, and naturally, like all of us, we're very, very sorry. And she wrote me some very nice letters. One letter she wrote to say, "Dear Ivor, I certainly miss you at functions. It's not the same without you." And I'm very proud of that. I do care. The most important thing when I go out, or my butlers go out, is to serve these people and to be low-key. They're the stars. The host, the bride, the bridegroom, the employers, they're the stars. We keep in the background.
You asked your wife if you could have your own butler.
That's right. Well, without being boastful, we bought the house next door in Dulwich, so we've got 2 houses in one, and I have some very nice clothes, and we're busy people. I said to my wife, Estella, we can afford a butler, let's have a butler. And she said, certainly not. First of all, it's too grand for us, because she came from the East End too, Vinnie. Yeah. And the other thing is, what would the neighbours say?
That's what she said.
So we haven't got a butler, unfortunately.
So you must have some funny stories,
well,
without mentioning any names.
Yes, we would mention names, but there is a golfer we work for, a very famous golfer, And we answer the phone, like if I was your butler, I would answer the phone, either the Jones or the Vinnie Jones. The phone goes, "Good morning, the Vinnie Jones residence, Spencer the butler speaking, may I help you?" But this golfer asked me to tell the butler that in future he would answer the name of the, so say for instance his name is Lee, it's not, "Good morning, the Lee residence, Spencer the butler speaking, may I help you?" He said, "I want him to answer the assistant butler speaking," but there's no assistant.
That's superb. Isn't it? That is superb, yeah.
But I'm not going to mention the name of the golfer.
No, right. But you're still, people think you're retired, but you're not. You're actually still working very hard, aren't you?
As a professional Toastmaster, I'm as busy as ever, and I'll never retire, and I still run the school for butlers. And we supply butlers to the royals, heads of state, embassies, and mostly for movie stars, very big business people, and I'm hoping Vinnie Jones.
Or Lombardo.
Or
I'm not on his wages.
Or Lombardo.
I'm not
well, Steve told me, your manager, that you get higher pay than he does.
Yeah. So I've got a little surprise for you in store anyway. We have got a Premier League footballer with us today here at Henlow Grange.
Right.
So I wondered if you could wait on him for about an hour.
Pleasure. Has he got the money?
We'll soon find out.